Awesome. Hello, everybody. Good evening, everybody. So, I guess we got to have a little bit of a chat with everybody. Oh, I better mute those. So, what happened last call was a combination of me being sick and just the lack of configuration of how I wanted to do that cast. Really, there wasn't any specific person that was a problem, as we mentioned before. I just wanted to get that out there because it seems like it keeps coming up in conversation. Hello, everybody. With that, I also really heavily thought about what type of changes should be done. So we're going to release the wiki. That's what we're going to do. We're going to release the wiki, and then additionally, what we're going to do here in the next few days, we're just finishing off the N8N protocols, basically API callbacks and things like that, to be able to have a chat available 24/7. So basically, we're going to have a reopening of the W4 here. And you'll be able to access it 24/7, and we'll have moderators throughout the chat. There will also be probably a link here rather shortly for those that do want to moderate. I am looking for moderators who would be interested in that. And we'll have to talk about the benefits and the other things that come with that. So, because there was a few of you that have been asking about how to get on our team, and I actually do need help. So that'd be really awesome in regard. And I'm feeling better today. Feeling way better today. We can have definitely a conversation today. So why does my Telegram do that? When you guys send me chats, it doesn't automatically scroll down. That's weird. Okay. So about today's cast, since we are going to release the wiki, there are videos, like snippet videos that I have made of myself that go with the steps of everything that I have talked about in the chat, which is very cool. So this conversation today is not going to be a tutorial. Rather, we're going to be talking about questions. And I do understand that there is people asking about the 1042. Again, it's the 1042. People are asking where, because it's being required by the IRS. I will go over that rather short. We're not going to do it today in this cast. Probably on the launch date, Tuesday or Wednesday, I will be going over that last piece because that is also going to be immediately uploaded to our wikis. Cool. Oh, I guess I just gave away the launch date. That's silly me. So, somewhere in the next few days. It's today's Sunday, so. Okay. With that in mind, I don't mind answering questions about anything today. I feel like a lot of people have more interpersonal questions today, so this is kind of more just a question and answer. And you guys got me for basically the next 2 hours. So, but I will lay some ground rules. When I bring you guys all up and say like a 5 to 10 people group, I will call on you. At first, if you're asked, so for example, I will be making a question and answer period. And then additionally, I'll be just having a 10-person conversation. So during question and answer period, I would appreciate when people do come up that I will call on your name and just have a conversation. In specific of a question and answer period, because these are videos I plan on using for my wiki. this is why I'm asking people to be more specific, to be able to keep the content rather professional and clean. So with that in mind, I guess we'll start with that. The summary of the chat is both for the United States and Canada, they are very similar forms. Oh. Oh, that's my Autobots. Okay. Okay, so for people that are here from the United States and Canada, when I lay out the forms, or when I have been laying out the forms, a lot of them are very similar. You'll notice which ones are Canadian and which ones are American at the top left-hand corner where it says IRS or the Canadian Revenue Agency. Like, this is not hard rocket science, guys. So this is a group where it's also requiring you to have to do research as well and understanding of what you're doing. I can explain it as much as possible, but if you don't understand the foundations of what's going on, as also I'm trying to bring to you guys as well, it becomes rather difficult, right? So that's one of those just funny questions. And then there's a couple other questions that have come up that I don't have problems answering over and over again. But please do your due diligence to use the search button in the chat. Or more importantly, a lot of the conversations have been made in the videos, and I would appreciate if answers or questions that have been made to not be answered again. So then I can, if you guys could just wait for the wikis, that'd be great. So without ado, you guys are more than welcome to throw your hands up and ask questions about what's going on with your personal lives. And when I say personal lives, obviously like in relation to like taxes or whatever. So, hey, how you doing? ENT administration. What's going on?
Hey, AJ. My name is Deidre. Thank you so much for bringing me up. I don't know if I missed this, but I will be interested in moderating. Do you have the information on that?
Yeah, we'll post a link about it shortly.
Okay. And that's all I needed. Thank you so much. And thank you for everything that you do.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so basically like one of my last forms that I've offered, it'll be basically just a sign up if you are interested, and that will be posted rather short. I'm not sure when, hopefully before the drop, if not after the drop. Because we do have people with us already, but we'll definitely need extra people for this. Hey Vanessa, how you doing?
Hi, AJ. Thank you for taking my question. So I actually have a couple of questions, if that's okay. My first question is, I'd like to understand a little bit more about becoming a non-resident and what that actually means. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yes. Administration. Awesome. Yeah, I can. So the difference between basically residency and non-residency is really the effect of what you're doing with your transactions. And for the purpose of whether you're identifying as a debtor or a creditor, really in regard. But then additionally, how do I explain it? So we all know like the 10 Mile Square in the United States, and then additionally in Canada, it's basically the Ottawa Parliamentary Building is really what that's all about.
Yes.
With that in mind, that's basically where we are residing of. When you take the definition of residing, it's basically a jurisdictional existing. You know what I mean? Like your entity
Yeah.
exists in this jurisdiction, and this is how we identify. And so when you're a non-resident, you're basically identifying as also a foreign entity. And foreign entities are not a part of the bankruptcy of the countries, which have the ability to do proper crediting as what's been prescribed.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for that bit of clarity. Oh, excellent. And my other question that I have is moving forward I've filed the NR forms. Sadly, I sent it to the wrong office. However, I'm going to correct that tomorrow. But so
they'll forward it if you sent it to the wrong address, but it's still a CRA or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they will.
Okay. So moving forward, then, do we bother with doing a T1 or any of those other, things next year?
Next year? So like when you do your 2024 returns?
Yes.
It's up to you. Since you have since you'll have accessibility to be able just to refund your transactions at any given loan, I don't know. That would be up to you. I personally, when you look at the T1 and the 1040, which are equivalents as individual tax returns, it's really only returning the taxes that you already paid for into the system. So like if you pay taxes for a car or taxes at McDonald's or taxes, at the restaurant or gas or things like that, that's really what the T1 and the 1040 is all about, is to get all of that returning. You'll notice on the MyCRA website, when you log in, you have the ability to also claim your GST and other, I'm pretty sure there's another one that you can also claim there as well online in regard when you already have an issued NR 301. Yes.
Oh,
so,
excellent. Well, that's good news.
and little things like that.
Yeah. And are you going to be doing like a little tutorial on how to maybe follow those little steps, or is that something that we need to research on our own at this point?
Oh no, I plan on, so the idea with the wiki and what it's been is we've just been adding articles on articles. And so anytime that we come up and think of things, we'll just add in and make more articles of. That's one of those things. So really, I'd like to have that information of like the understanding of why we're doing it, along with the tutorials and the descriptions and elements of what's in the forms, why also we're doing that.
That would be brilliant, because I think that's to have that understanding so that you can stand on what you're doing with an agent in the moment to say, no, this is what I'm doing is very helpful.
The government's going to come and read it too, right? So
yeah, exactly. So in line with that, will you also be going through the UPU and how, because I've heard you talk about this, sending that UPU code to your address for insurance, and I don't understand really how that works. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I will definitely talk about the, I'm sorry.
No, I apologize. But to re-register vehicles and things of that nature?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you could do that, that would be awesome.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And these not tutorials, but the posts that I plan on, the whole wiki, a lot of the posts that are on there will be like live documents. So they get edited when issues arise or like there needs to be clarity or understanding. And I think that would be like the best method to be able to like bring description of what exactly is happening here rather than just in videos and also just templates. I don't think that's really rather enough. So we'll definitely talk about the international registry and what is really the whole role of the United Nations. So.
Yeah, that's a big key part. And so anyway, thank you so much, AJ. I'm glad you're feeling better, and I'm super grateful to be a part of this group. Thank you.
yes, God bless.
Bless you.
Hey, Emil, how you doing?
Are you talking to me, Emil? Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't put my
Yeah.
whole name. Amelia. Sorry about that. I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
to change that. Hi, AJ. I just have a very simple, I have a simple question. When we do a whole new filing, even though I have already filed my 1040 for 23, I have read in other areas that we can utilize a whole new 1040 for this filing, because we're using 1099s and that was considered a code 5. So would I be able to go ahead? I mean, that's what I've read and I have heard as well. I just haven't done it, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Could I use an entire whole new 1040 to submit this entire process without having to use a 1040X? That is the question I have.
So, the 1040s are matching your individual profile. So it really what it is that it's a reporting summary and statement of what has happened for your entire persons of that year. When you have made taxable income, you also would want to include that on the 1040 along with non-taxable income. Actually, typically, so what I'm coming to find out is that while reporting the incomes on, say, like an NR4 or a 1042S, tax agencies are not necessarily needing to report the incomes on a 1040 or a T1. However, the way that I described it last time just makes it simple and easier. Like, here's the thing about this. There's so many ways to skin this cat. Like, when you make a formula and have it work, you can read the elements of it and find different elements work for different things when it comes to this. And when you guys ask these type of questions, you're asking what type of elements can I use to make it work, to make a combining force to get the goal that I'm looking for, which is receiving funds. And really, honestly, a lot of the time it's probably yes to a certain degree when you guys are asking me these questions. It's just, would I recommend them on a general level for everybody? Probably not. So I just want to get that out there. For your question though, yeah, no.
So I would you know what? I would just stick with the 1042 and that would be just perfectly fine, even though I have already filed a 1040. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because, your 1040 is only really necessarily needing to be filed once a year, and you can make adjustments to it so many times. I think a lot of the time there is a cap of 30. I don't know. I've never seen anybody get capped on how many times you can do a 1040 or a T1, but teach their own. The idea is that we should be able to report per transaction, and that's where these updates have been happening, which is very valuable. So you can make the refund on a 1040 or a 1042. That's really what's happening here.
Thank you so much for that clarity. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I yield.
Of course, no problem. Hi, Renee. How you doing today?
Uh-oh. Okay. Hi. I'm sorry. I'm actually I'm driving and I didn't see that it was still muted. I'm sorry. Okay. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay, that's good. Well, I'm good. The last question, it seems to be my question, which was if I already filed taxes prior to this for the 1099B, which would be the 1040. Do I need to amend, or should I just leave it as is? Or
from the information that I provided, or from like mistakes that you guys have done on your own without me?
Yeah, before I got to this group, I just got in the group this week, so I'm really new, and
hi.
I wanted to do hi. I wanted to do the 1099B, and then I noticed part of that meant to do the 1040, but I had already filed taxes for this year, so
that's okay.
I didn't know. So what do I do now? Do I amend? Like,
yeah, you can recreate a 1040 and you can throw amend on there for sure.
Oh,
you just throw
okay.
The word amend on the top.
Oh, okay. So that's it. That's simple. Nothing more.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, and if you wanted to make any corrections or errors, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, thank you so much, and I really appreciate you. I do.
Oh, no problem.
And yeah, this group has really been enlightening to me. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, God bless.
Okay. Thank you. Blessing.
Hey, AJ, how are you?
Hey, Jay, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. This is my second time on the on one of your calls. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for taking the time. My question is kind of simple, hopefully. I just wanted to know, if you're in the U.S., what is the easiest way to be listed as non-resident alien in the IRS system?
What is the easiest way to register as a non-resident? Is that what you're asking here?
Yes, that is what I'm asking. Because I was doing another process that had to do with the post office, so I was wondering if there was another way.
Well, when you're filing your W-8 BENs, basically you're registering yourself as a dual resident.
I seen on one of your forms that you wrote United Nations. Was that because you're located in Canada, or would we write that as well? I seen someone else ask that question, but I don't think someone answered them.
So I have residency in multiple countries. It's not like so. Okay, so here's how I would look at it. Being in Canada, I have residency in Canada, but I also have dual residency with the United Nations. This is where I get my jurisdictional power by existing as an entity and using the International Registry, the UPU, to be able to create it. So I basically am registering as a dual resident with the United States or Canada, or wherever that we're doing this at. And that would be how you would enlist your non-residency. If you wanted to do this into other countries, then you would follow the procedure of the non-residency process. Like, say, for example, me being in Canada, but I wanted to go into the United States, I would need to go to the IRS and get an ITN or a temporary SSN, one of the two, and to be able to perform taxes and whatnot.
Okay, thank you so much, AJ. I appreciate that.
No problem. Mr. Bakes, how you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Wow, that was quick. How you been, man?
I'm tired, but I'm actually been doing really good.
Okay. Oh, this is selfish what I'm about to ask. For some strange reason, I'm unable to share my opinions in a group. And I was just trying to bring that to your attention. Something, I don't know, something went wrong. I'm unable to share my opinions in your group. I was just wondering, are you having that problem?
What do you mean? Is it getting auto deleted or something? Or
no, it's literally saying that you're restricted from sharing any messages in this group. And one tear fell out my eye when I saw that. I was hurt. But
no, you shouldn't be.
I don't know what.
No, we'll tell you guys if we're doing things to your accounts. Let's just look at that. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll make that a note and I'll look into that for you, Mr. My guy.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. That's all. I ain't gonna take up too much of your time, but I just wanted to.
Oh no, you're cool. If you got questions, let me know.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
And yeah, no, I appreciate you guys being here. Cool. So I got you added into my task list. What's going on, David?
Hi, AJ. I got a question for you. I'm in the U.S.
Sure.
And I filed the 2023 1040, just like you said, and wrote amended at the top.
I'm sorry, your mic is pretty muffled. What have you filed?
I filed the 2023 1040 and wrote amended at the top.
Oh, okay.
And what I was wanting to ask you, do I file the 1042 2023 and the 24 1042S and the 23 1042T?
Okay, so it's hard to hear you, so I'm gonna try to answer your question. If you're filing a return for a year and you're looking to get additional credits from your securities, as I've been telling everybody how to be able to create and generate money with, you will have to file the 1042S per year that you'll be doing your return on if you're going to be doing it per return year. So if you're going to be doing it for 24, then you do it for 24. You do it if you want for 23, then you would do that for 23 if you're filing a 1040 with this method. Now, I want to explain also something that I've mentioned into the chat too. The 1042 and the 1042S and the T are all done by the withholding agent. This is the agent that I've talked about in creating when you're creating the loans. With that in regard, if you're going to be using the 1040 to refund, that's the withholding agent, and the withholding agent can do it multiple times per, like once per transaction kind of scenario. But you know what I mean. The 1040 is supposed to only be done once per year. So, and that's the individual return. And when you're issuing a 1042S, you're actually issuing it to the individual. But because the withholding agent is also a sole proprietorship, either the individual or the withholding agent have the ability to make the refund. So you can choose which one will take that refund per 1042 slip. Or sorry, per 1042S. So, yeah.
Okay. So I have so if I'm filing the 2023 amending the 1040, I would file 2024 1042S, right?
No, so if you're all going to do it for 1 year, I will explain it this way. For 2023, as I've mentioned in my videos, and I'm very clear about it in my videos already. So, if you were filing for 2023, you would be issuing a 1042S for 2023, and you would be issuing a 1042 for 2023 as well. Those would all go together as one, because it's all for the year 2023.
Okay, got it.
I hope that clarifies.
That cleared it up, buddy. Thank you.
No problem. Sorry, sometimes maybe it has to be asked a couple times for me to answer the question. I apologize.
That's okay. You did great.
Cool. Thank you. Neutral and Peaceable, how are you doing?
Hi, AJ. Just a clarification, I guess, the question. On the NR4 and the NR7R, when we send it in, do we also have to do a remittance coupon, the T70R?
Yes.
Okay, so that needs to get done. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thanks, AJ.
No problem. If the IRS or the CRA is requesting for that, then yes. Yeah, a lot of the time, it's coming back where they want the remittance as well. So, which makes sense. And the remittance is straightforward. There is no need for a tutorial on it. Paul Hillman.
Hey AJ, how you doing?
Rather well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. A couple of questions. We opened bank accounts in the beginning, and we had to sign this declaration of tax resident for individuals. Then you went through the NR process. Is there something we need to change with that or bring into the bank, like another form, or is there anything we need to do?
No. So commercial banks are only issue products and services for domestic residents, unless they issue a product that is for a specific country or some sort of like, you know what I mean? So like Canadian bank accounts in the United States kind of thing. But it's all domestic. It has nothing to do with this process, unfortunately. I am testing a theory that has been in my mind for quite some time, where you actually have the ability to make payments at a commercial bank, but I can't follow up with further details at this time.
So we're okay to use this bank then that we open this account and send the direct deposit for the NR process and everything? Everything's cool with that?
Oh, yes. Because the individual is a resident and the withholding agent, even though considered a non-resident, it has the ability to deposit United States or Canadian currency into the yes. Just yes. I'm over explaining it. I just realized, caught myself. I'm over explaining. Yes.
Oh, it's all good, AJ. No, that's awesome. That it was just a couple of questions that came up because we've been following your process right from the beginning. I'm here with Vanessa as well. And as we open these new bank accounts and we're going through the process, change to the NR, now we're wondering, like, do any of these forms now have to be switched over or anything? But that's perfect.
Nope.
You kept it simple. That's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. A lot of the time when a lot of the forms are issued for domestic purposes.
Now, again, I did the same thing as Vanessa asked, is we sent our NR forms to the taxation center. Should we send duplicates to the Quebec NR office, or will they forward it? You kind of mentioned it quick, but I just want to make sure.
In Canada, I don't think so. No, I think it's all fine at the CRA level.
Perfect. Well, that answers everything, AJ. You're the best. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. God bless.
Okay. Have a good night.
You too. What's going on the bay?
Oh, same old, same old. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. Glad to hear it. As you know, a couple weeks ago, I did the 1099B for the specified amount, and it was accepted. Then I snail mailed.
It was or it wasn't accepted?
It was.
Oh, good.
Yes. And then I snail mailed 1040 and W8BEN. And they were received several days ago. So everything's in process, or at least sitting in a mail pile. And I'm kind of hung up here on whether or not to do 1040 and 1042. So that's really necessary.
Yes.
And if I don't, can I just like cancel a W-8 and just pay the taxes?
Well, so I wouldn't want to cancel the W-8. It's once you kind of send it, it's already elected. But it's a good thing though, because you do have the option of reporting either way now at that point. So you're more than welcome to cancel if you want, my friend. It's fully entirely up to you.
You're saying with it active, I can elect to do either or?
Yeah, you can totally pick. Yeah, you can report taxable income if you want. Sure.
Okay, so I don't need to do 1040 or 1042, but just leave the W-8 as is.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Your microphone cut out. Kind of just like disappeared in the ether. Hello? No, okay. He got Among Us like shuttled straight out into space. Okie dokie. It's a blessed distress. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
That's good to hear. I was just wondering if when I filed my taxes originally and sent my T1 like from Canada and they already responded and they said I owe money and then I sent my NR documents, would I have to do like an amendment or adjustment for my taxes, or just the NR and the TD7R was like good enough, suffice?
I'm pretty sure you're on our listing for asking us a couple questions in regard. I think I'm pretty sure you asked us this in DMs.
I sent you a direct message, and I was just wondering and waiting, so I was figured this would be the best time for me to ask you.
Sure. So then I actually have a question for you. Is the income that you have reported, is that labor income or is that benefits, or what specifically is it? Is it capital gains?
It was labor income, and then I'm not sure if you remember, but I kind of showed you where it was coming from.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, labor incomes. So labor incomes where you have EI, CPP, and RRSP, they all have different refund forms for overpayments into those accounts. And then additionally, when you are doing a follow-up amendment here, you will also be wanting to send in amended T4s of that labor where it's exempted income, as described in my Canadian video of how to be able to report in Indian incomes. And then in that T4 correction, so like say for example, you work for let me think. If you work for a gas station called Shell, let's talk about that. And you got Shell on there, they issue it a T4. And they issued it where you ended up paying into CPP, RRSP, and EI. All those accounts have refund forms that you can get overpayments on because you issued yourself an R301. And then additionally, on your tax returns, like the T4 that they issued, you can print their copy and amend it where the incomes are actually reported as Indian incomes and you can exempt the boxes. That's basically what I'm trying to explain here.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you for that, because that's what I was wondering, because I made that mistake when I sent it in originally. So, wow. Okay. I got it.
Yeah, and so that's actually the funnier thing. So if you ended up just clicking that box, then it kind of automatically does it. That's the funnier part. How silly is that? Yeah. No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, now we got a lot of people asking. Hold up. Carmen, how are you doing?
Hey, AJ, I'm doing great. I'm glad that you're feeling better.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you're here.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask this question, which I think I already know the answer to it. Can when you file, do a 1099-B on the fire? And I'm asking this question for someone else who has fire. They said that they do not see it on a transcript. Like if they filed the 1099-B on fire, when will that shouldn't that show up immediately on fire if they filed it? They use their
On
withholding
fire.
agent. Fire
So,
or IRS.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Fire. So when you're reporting on fire, it's just for reporting. A lot of the time, I don't think it comes back with any sort of status. If it's not coming back up on a transcript, it's not. I think what's happening here is the access to information department versus the actual like processing of returns departments. They're different. And so what happens, I think, because now it's all digital, is that the access to information department, they pull a snapshot, and that snapshot is probably generated once a week. Or you know what I mean? Because the other departments probably gather their data and send it as a packet and then leave it accessible for the rest of the agencies to access. I would think it would probably be more real time than a week, but you know what I mean, right? So if they probably tried again after, say, like a few weeks, then you would probably see it on there.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. And I know you said do not use a third party. Now, when I check my...
Oh, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it's just not recommended.
Okay. Because, when I check my 1096, it shows, and sometimes it doesn't show. Like, it's just zero. Weird. Yeah, it says it doesn't. But I wonder if it says zero because of the W8 bin. I mean, a W-8 bin. I don't know. I'm just...
No, that sounds like a programming issue.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I don't want to just be waiting for my refund, and that's the reason why, because of this third party,
Well, they'll send you a letter, and this is the thing, right? So they'll let you know.
Who, the IRS will let you know? Okay.
Yeah, they'll let you know. Yeah. If they don't fund it or like process it, they'll let you know and ask you like questions or whatever else. And actually, believe it or not, a lot of people are following me up with that, which is great of you. Thank you guys, because that helps me be able to determine how to respond. And we come back with the responses, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, which are now being wiki tutorialed. So I think this is all awesome.
Okay, great. I do have an appointment with the IRS on June the 13th. I mean, I made it myself so I can talk to someone about a lot of different things because I'm unable to look at my transcript. They claim that I'm going to be able to look at my transcript on May the 24th. I'm just waiting to see.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So I don't have any more questions. Everyone's been answering my questions, but concerning the what is it, 1042S, and I know you said you was gonna have a chat or something on the 1042 form.
A chat? No, I'm gonna post my wikis and
the wiki.
The wikis
Okay.
Yeah. And then on the same day, I'll probably do like a video tutorialization of it, and then I'll be adding the clips to it thereafter, like probably like the same day.
Okay, because I was just thinking, okay, I've already did the 1040, so now I got to do the 1042 along with the 1042-S. I'm going to mail mine in the 1042-T because I'm going to mail it in. But I tried to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to come out better that way. But should I mail the 1042 with the 1042-S and the 1042-T since I'm
Yes.
going to mail them in? Okay. And should I mail in my 1099B, or is that necessary?
If you have a confirmation of them receiving it, then no, it shouldn't be necessary.
Okay, because the third party said it was accepted. That's what it said. So.
Oh, then yeah. Yeah, then
okay.
You should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis. What's up, Lewis?
Hey, brother. Nice to meet you, man. This is my second time coming in your group. I appreciate what you're doing. It's very moving and motivating. I appreciate your hard work and dedication and wish you the best. I'm glad to hear that you're doing better. But I just have a question about this 1042. I'm in the United States. I've been following your process, and I had already submitted the W-8 Ben with the 1099 and the 1040. And so I didn't create my withholding agent till after. Now, on my CP 575 is saying, after review of your information, we have determined that you have not filed tax returns for the above mentioned tax periods, dating as far as back as 2024. Please file your returns by 5/15/2024. But I know I haven't done anything with it, but it's saying that if I don't have employees or liabilities to go ahead and mail that in.
Hold on. So when you receive a CP 575 in that regard, in your application, you do not claim exemption of filing the return, meaning you're not you shouldn't be required to file the return. It's in part of the withholding agent application. So if you're saying that you created a withholding agent and that's what they're issuing back, it's because you didn't exempt yourself. So what you can do is just follow up with a letter saying, my apologies, I'd like to exempt this account from filing returns per year. And they won't ask for that anymore.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Yeah, because the withholding agent is actually exempt from filing, but we do file because we want our money. So.
What if your account was already marked as exempt prior to doing any of this? Thanks.
Oh, if it's already marked, well, you won't receive a CP 575 asking you to do returns.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, no problem, bro. And yeah, we're cool. Nah, it's just I've been so busy. It's just family issues. But I love him.
Gotcha. Understood.
I'm pretty sure I am. Oh no, Crypto. Hey, Crypto. It's basically Crypto and Linda.
Yep.
After.
I based off the question that the guy just asked, right? So just brought up another conversation for me. So if your withholding agent is filling out the 1042-S, then you don't have to fix all of your past tax returns as you suggested in your video?
Okay, so when I suggested that to go back for your past tax returns, I mean like when you paid into taxes of things you shouldn't have paid for. In regard to this, no, I wouldn't go back and try to issue I mean, you can. It's really if you really wanted to go to that extreme length to do that, sure, but it's not simple and it's very unethical to me to go back to issue an amended per year 1042 return. Because what you're doing is you're creating a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created a withholding agent, and then you're saying that you created to generate credit. Just
so his
to confirm
same
your
exact
question.
scenario. So like you didn't file taxes 2015, 2016, 2007, those types of years. And
yes.
and
If you haven't filed, I would want to catch up every year.
You would go back and file a 1040 for every year?
Yeah.
Okay. And then like for the state you would do what, that 4852?
Yeah, if you got, exactly. If you got withholdings of labor income, say into state taxes or other different type of programs like retirement and stuff, yeah, you can issue a 4852 of withholdings to get your refund back, and you can do it per year. Absolutely, especially if you haven't filed tax for that year.
So there
sorry,
I'm gonna let you
go
finish.
ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
So if you have so 4852 for those. Oh, okay, I know. So there are people who are doing like the 4052, like getting back their whole income for the year, not getting, but like putting it down on paper, like the whole income for the year, not just the tax withholdings or Social Security or things of that nature. Would you suggest that approach?
So so the Canadian agency has given me such a hard time where there has to be a source of income from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there are people, I know there is like specific practices where IRS will like, or the CRA will exempt certain returns and other things because they have that power to do so, right? On a general level, because it doesn't have a formulation of description or an understanding or real process of how to do it. No, probably not.
Okay. And the last question I have is, I noticed in the chat that someone, and I'm not sure if it was a legit source, I've kind of been traveling this last week, but it was like, oh, there's going to be a change to the 1042S video, I'm assuming, or process, because what you told us wasn't right or something. So there's corrections that need to be made. Is that true, since like the one that you did maybe about 2 weeks ago?
Oh, no. So if you all the things that you guys have filed so far is correct. There was just additional forms. So you'll get a letter from the IRS or the CRA asking you like for more forms, and those were the forms. That's all. Correct. Yeah, the 1042S is what they're asking for. And then additionally, we've followed up where the IRS was also asking for the 1042 because it's the withholding agent that has to do that. So I explained this in my last video, but we took it down, so I'll re-explain it again. For some reason, even though that both countries are very similar, we're just sometimes a little different. In Canada, we can do the return all like together as packaged. In the United States, they have to do kind of like a separate return. So like, how do I explain it? The withholding agent is required to do a return, while the withholding agent in Canada is not. It's kind of weird. So that's why we have to include a 1042 as well.
So now I'm hearing some new information. Okay, so let me just repeat what I heard. So the video, well, not the video, but like the class, the first time you spoke on the 1042S and you introduced us to it, you said, get a withholding agent, have the withholding agent fill out 1042. Fill out 1042S for the individual, right? So now you're saying do a 1042.
Yeah, the recipient is the individual.
So now you're saying do a 1042 without any S or T, just do a 1042 as well?
No, both of them are required. The whole 1042 series, the origin form itself, the S and the T, all three of them would have to go.
And all three
That's the follow-up.
All three were shown, like they're all good. Are all three going to be filled out the same exact way?
I would suggest for you, my friend, to wait up until the follow-up with our wiki, because I haven't gone over the exact instructions on how to do the 1042.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just wait for the follow up. I'll just wait for the follow up on that.
Okay. And there was one other thing that the gentleman had mentioned, that you do kind of have the comments paused for new people, I guess. It's just the way that you onboard them into your Telegram, I guess. But yeah, I'm not able to comment or speak in the chat. I don't know if that's on purpose, but just tell me what to do, and hopefully I'll be invited to chat.
Yeah, I know you guys should be able to chat. That's interesting. I guess what I'll do is I'll make a post also in the group asking about if they're having issues like that, and we'll do a feedback. So yeah, I have you on the list now, so I'll look at your account and see what the Autobots have done. They're doing things without telling me.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank
AJ, are those example forms going to be marked up with John Doe?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey.
Yeah. They're going to be templated and downloadable. I'll have a downloadable template along with like the original form that you can get directly from the IRS. And so they'll all be linked in there properly where it's all like structured. It just seems more logical to have it structured that way than to have like conversations in groups like it's been for the last 20 years with other groups.
Agreed. I agree wholeheartedly. I'll look forward to those forms in response to a letter that I'm expecting from the IRS at some point requesting those forms. No?
Yeah. We should all be expecting that if you haven't followed up with the 1042. But that's okay, because then you can follow up with the 1042 and they'll be like, oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. That's great news. Takes a load off my chest. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, no problem. And I figured a few days is not going to kill anybody.
Still alive.
Yeah, exactly. The whole world blows up on Wednesday. Oh, no. With my luck. I'm just joking. Don't wish that, people.
All right, man. Cool. Thanks.
And there's AJ. Back to writing the letter to the IRS about the account, exempting the account. Is there a certain verbiage I should use with that?
No, just say. No, just say it's a sole proprietorship withholding agent that is tax exempt from filing because W-8BN was issued. That's basically it.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, believe it or not, because it's actually like regular people on the other end of like the letters. So like when you guys are like adding in extra disclaimers and stuff like that, I believe it or not, 9 times out of 10, the first agent is like, "What's going on?" The second agent doesn't have any idea, and supervisor steps in and goes, "Huh, that's interesting." And they're probably all looking at the definitions and sent it to the legal team. So like it's a whole process here, compartmentalized, where a lot of the time people don't really understand what you're saying unless it's like part of their practice or policy. So I just want to get that out there. I find it funny that everybody just try to make it simple. That's my whole motto. Just try to make things as simple as you possibly can, because it really is simple to go get your money.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Though for the people who are not able to chat, if it's your first time coming in, when you chat, a bot will send you a message. You have to click on it and you have to connect to that bot so that you're able to chat in the group. And if you disconnect from the bot, then you're no longer able to post chats.
That's correct.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to review that.
And you only have 10 minutes.
I've been challenged.
You only have 10 minutes.
Since I joined up, I've been challenged a few times here and there, just randomly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, what it's doing is that when you connect to it, it's like a direct IP link to your group. to be able to chat. Yeah. That's basically what it's doing. So if you disconnect, I had mine on for a while, but I noticed that if it's on and I'm not chatting and all the chats are coming through, my computer start running slow because of the data, right? The downloading the data. So I disconnect and connect from time to time. So just wanted to bring that up to the new people in case, you know, that's the problem that they're probably having.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so our bot's gone rogue. Oh, okay.
So Telegram might have some updates you need to install too.
AI's gone rogue. It's Terminator 2 all over again. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that, guys. Thank you for reporting that. And if you guys ever have issues, you're more than welcome to DM me. I want to know these things so I can fix it for you. There isn't anything that I am doing on purpose, and if I am, I will 100% tell you guys. There's not like one single person in here that I hate or like have problems with. You guys are all fucking cool. Even my haters. To them, thank you haters. So yeah, does anybody have any other questions so far?
Yeah, hello AJ, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm okay. I had a question for you. If you have a time to do this, the 1042. I just want to clarify all the codes. I got it in front of me, but I just want to make sure I got the codes correct.
Sure. If you got it in front of you, why not?
All right. Well, first one, channel 3 status code. I got it as a 4.
Sure.
1A, chapter 3.
You know what? Actually, my friend, the problem is that when I'm assuming you were in my last call, the one that I
was in few of your calls, and I appreciate everything you're doing, and I watch all your videos. I just want to get this thing, but I don't want to send it out.
Yeah. Sir, my friend, we're not going to rush in front of the 109 other people here that are looking to get that same information. No, I think what it is that in my last call, also additionally, I gave the directions wrong. So because I gave the directions wrong, I need to follow up with the proper directions. I haven't given anybody the proper directions for it yet. So some of your codes may actually be wrong, and I don't have the form in front of me to go over with you guys. That's not going to be this call.
Okay, so I just wait when you put it on the chat and then check that out that way. Thank you.
Yeah, review the wiki and review the short clip video. And also, if you guys want to participate for the long form version of it, I will be having that and it will be announced.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for your patience and apologies. It was kind of a weird day the last time I came on. I think it was Thursday or whatever.
Yeah, it was a little different, but you know, you got things to do, so it's okay. I'm glad you're here, though. I appreciate you, and I'm sure everybody else does as well.
It was just like really. Thank you. Yeah, no, it was being sick is not a fun-filled adventure.
All right, well, I'm gonna yield. You guys have a good one. I'm listening.
Yeah, you too, and yeah, definitely come back here in the next few days. All those questions will be answered shortly. I had a couple more people. If you guys just jumped in here, you're more than welcome to say hey. You guys got questions? Like Blue Horseshoe or
Yes, hi. AJ, hi. I have a question.
Hello.
Hi, I'm new to the group. I was invited by someone here. I did a negotiable instrument with another group, right? And it took me a lot of months to try to fix that, and it's still not all the way fixed. You know, I wound up owing the government, the IRS, like $468,000. Now it's dropped down to $37,000, right? And so I was wondering, you know, with your process, is there a way that I can do that 1040? I know one of the videos I heard you say that if you do a 1040, you don't have to do a 1040X, that the 1040 will take care of a filing. Is that correct? Or as an amendment?
I apologize for cutting you off. I'm just trying to confirm. So, what exactly of an owing do you have with the IRS?
Well, that 468,000 that the NI, the negotiable instrument created, subsequently it's dropped down to 37,000 that's still owing, and just trying to collect.
When you say again, I apologize. When you say negotiable instrument, I mean like they're charging you for an instrument that you like. Did you create it? What is the negotiable instrument, if you don't mind me asking?
It's a site draft that was created for a year back in 2020. It was for 450,000. It subsequently, posted on my transcripts as a refund, right? But then subsequently it was reversed, right? But before it was reversed, I got a letter in the mail saying to expect a refund. Then the refund came, so I took it, I deposited, and it cashed in my account at the bank. But then the bank froze my account, right? Then I got another letter from the IRS saying that I had to return the funds because they made an error and they sent me the treasury check, blah, blah, blah. So it was after the fact. And so I used some of the proceeds, and the bank froze the rest of it, 425,000 or so. And then they sent it back to the IRS for me. That's what they did.
Yeah.
And so that's
Yeah, sounds about right. If you want to follow up, so in the next few days here, I would recommend everyone to follow up with the 1042, the 1042S, and the 1042T. That will fix your that will fix your problems. And then additionally, I'm not sure specifically why you're being charged for a negotiable instrument in that regard. It sounds like there's a few more things that you've done. So what I recommend, my friend, is to DM me and to have more of a conversation. So
thank you, AJ. Appreciate it. I yield.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, complicated matters. I have no problem answering you guys in DM. It's me trying to get through all the DMs. Honestly, I think we have about I think I'm backdated about 3 weeks in DMs right now. But we're supercharging that. I'm supercharging that at least. So yeah. Anybody else might have any other questions?
AJ.
Yo.
I've been wanting to ask you this question for some time. Who is we? Who are we? Who's the we you keep referring to? You have a staff?
I do. Yeah, I have staff. I have people that work with me.
Cool. Like, what hats do they wear?
I have technically a receptionist. She started off as my friend, and she is my receptionist and helps me do a lot of the administrating for the company here. Then there's a few other people that have been helping me with the server aspect of things. And we've there's actually, it'd be kind of cool to talk more about how, like, once I launch everything, it'd be cool about how all these were all formed together. And yeah, and then I have basically access to you guys, which is CPAs and lawyers and professionals all around. There's a lot of you guys that have like a lot of cool companies, and so a lot of the time I just if I can outsource a lot of my my complications as well. So yeah.
Cool, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. And when it comes to here, there's me, and then there is typically another person that also follows up with me when it comes to the questions and helping me monitor my live stream to be able to have it all done. It's just no one's here today. It's just me.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah. I'm excited for a lot of you guys. The Canadians have it all right. Everything about the Canadian side is all ready to go. There isn't anything more about that. Canadians have it all down pat. It's just basically the fallout with the Americans here in the next few days. Also, additionally, as I've mentioned, we're going to make 24/7 kind of hour chat. I plan on also talking more about not only the non-residency and posting wikis about that, posting wikis about the international registry, how got all of our exemptions. I'll even post like the tutorials behind like even creating your own passports if you wanted to create registration for visas across all of those countries there and whatnot. Like I have nothing that I'm holding that's like holding back against like from you guys as like secrets or anything. It's more of processing and getting it all out there and doing it all in the right stages with the proper information. Otherwise agencies get mad and they get mad at me. I'm the number one person they get mad at for some weird reason here. I can't fathom why. But just want to mention that for everybody as like a couple of updates. But I don't mind also too if they get mad at me. I'll take the blame. I'll be like the family dog. You can blame me.
Well, at the end of the day, just doing what they put on paper, right?
What's that?
I say at the end of the day, you're just doing what they put on paper and in laws. You just figured it out.
Well, this is it, right? Years and years of reading the tax codes and like all of the like different compartmentalization of how the foundations of everything is. So when I come here, I come with like years of experience.
No, it's awesome. Well, I started the process already, so I'm gonna wait till you put the rest of the stuff on the 42S.
Yeah, thank you for that.
And I do have a question for you. Last call and a call prior to this, you mentioned something. You're gonna start an international ways to do this stuff. I do have some family living in Europe, majority of them, and it's still under IMF. So I was wondering, like, what country did you pick? You're gonna try to focus on.
Australia, sorry, hold on. What is on my list here? Germany, Romania, thinking off the top of my head. Mexico. There was another South American one, I can't remember. And the South Africa. Those would probably be the initial ones coming out.
Okay, if you want to add a Czech Republic, I'll be your guy. Fluent in both languages.
Yeah, I'll add that to the list of them that's prioritized for sure. I know that sounds like a weird combination of what we're doing here, but trust me, believe it or not, they all matter.
It's all under IMF, so it should be the same, but you just got to figure out their language and their forms and what is what. That's going to be the hard part to dissect it.
Exactly. Every country has the right to do it differently while also still following the standards, so some things are left up to the country to decide or the states, one of the two. You know what I mean? So it's just understanding basically every country at every state level. Oh, you are echoing.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself? I just wanted to ask, how do you get connected with the WikiLink?
Oh, I haven't posted it yet.
Oh, okay. Or do we have access to past ones, or are you just creating a new one?
Oh, I'm posting the whole website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a whole website.
Okay. And okay, and then we could come, but in order to get access to, is this to come back to another group talk, or because we're kind of I didn't get a chance to hit the 10-minute buzz before we actually got restricted in the messaging. So just keep
Oh,
checking back for that, or you have a timetable when you plan on launching that.
okay. So that's a few questions in your question there. So
That
what
one, yeah. A little
when
excited.
it I gotcha. For the issue with being restricted from posts, that is a bot that I know of in my mind of what's causing that. I'm gonna go fix it right after this, so the restrictions should not be a problem after an hour or so. The second thing is that I have not posted the website or anything yet. That's coming up here in the next few days. I will make announcements about it, including also the scheduling for future calls. We're probably only doing one last tutorial video like this before I get into a 24/7 hour availability chat for anybody to just jump into at any time. And during those times, I'll schedule more dedicated calls of when people can join at a certain time into the 24/7 hour chat to have conversations with me. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Okay, I appreciate that clarity. I thank you for that, and thank you for the time. And the other thing was with the website link. Would that be?
It'll be public.
No, I'm saying not be in public, but would you have the old videos that you've actually done in there as well, or is that separate?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can post my whole archive. I actually would like to post my my report findings of how I even came to the conclusion of my own tax returns. Like things like that, case studies and things like that. I think things like that would be really cool to post all on this wiki. So,
okay.
But it all will happen in time as we build them and publish.
Excellent. And then lastly, I will throw myself out there as a volunteer to assist, aid, and help on the technical side, the administrative side, and the organizational, operational side too.
Oh, that's cool. I would recommend everyone to submit an application because as I also write down your names here, and I know also other people in my mind right now that have asked from previous times, the best would be to applicate, because then I at least know guaranteed that people are interested, and I know there's actually a lot more people that are interested rather than me just going around to ask. So yeah, that would be my best for that specific.
Okay. Thank you for
but
that.
I'll keep you in mind because I'm the one that's choosing, right? So yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And with that, I yield. Thank you.
Yeah, you're awesome. Thank you. God bless.
God bless.
Oh, there's 3 more people. Hello, hello.
Hey, Jay. Hi. How are you? Oh,
okay.
Somebody else speak. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. What do you? Let's have Nina go first.
Thank you. How are you, AJ?
I'm okay.
That's good. Okay, so listen,
How are
a
you?
little update. I'm great. The W-4. If I was going to go ahead and let's say file a whistleblower, right? And I just can't figure out who I would blow the whistle on. There's 3 different people here. Well, entities.
Who are we whistleblowing on?
Okay. Well,
what are we doing?
I purchased from eBay with my PayPal. Now my PayPal receipt emailed me, and there was some kind of funny numbers, I'm a numbers person. And I took those numbers and come to find out there was a treasury listing of a CUSIP number. Now that CUSIP number, let me see, it goes on a 990. There was a foundation under a 990 PF in 2004. So there's a foundation. Yeah, and then there's the treasury.
Hold up. So
yeah, it's kind of a big deal over here.
Let me just confirm with you for the rest of the chat, because it's probably just not me thinking about this. It's probably a couple of people. When you say all this, are you talking about a transaction that you made recently and you ended up trying to go find its numbers for it and you now think it's a CUSIP, and this CUSIP is backdated before the transaction. So I probably, with that in regard, probably what that means is that the corporation, that it's the corporation CUSIP. It's the corporation you probably bought from. That's probably typically what that is.
What do you mean the corporation? I purchased from eBay with my
Yeah,
PayPal.
so it's PayPal.
Okay, so
Yeah,
PayPal,
so it's probably PayPal.
right? Okay.
Yeah, it's probably PayPal's.
Okay, so I would put them as
Do nothing.
What do you mean? No. It goes deeper. See, the CUSIP is attached to the Treasury, which is attached to a tax filing of a 990-PF from a company called the Joyce Foundation. And the Joyce Foundation filed. No. I'm not sure if it's my CUSIP, but I purchased something. So you're saying that they didn't go through any type of Social Security of mine?
No. Oh, no. No.
But I made a purchase.
Yeah.
Okay. And when two parties make a purchase, when they make an agreement, that becomes a security.
No, it makes it a transaction.
Into a security.
No, there is securities behind the accounts that, you know, back those accounts, but no, that's a transaction. That's a transaction from one account to another.
Okay,
the
well,
accounts
then how come I don't find them in my other PayPal receipts? It's only that
You're
one.
missing a few elements there, hon.
Huh?
Sorry? Well, I didn't hear what you said, bro.
She's missing a few elements there she's talking about, referring to the security.
And those are? I have all the itemized. I have it all itemized. Public debt news. I got the yield. I got all the information here. So I just found the tax filing of 2004 and the, what do you call it? The Treasury bills attached to that CUSIP.
Yeah, so then they're probably Treasury bill CUSIPs or whatever. I mean, so the thing is that the transaction is just what it is, a transaction. If you look at the term definition of I can look up the definition of transaction, but it's different than
my fidelity.
the thing is that you will know. Oh, sorry.
Again.
Okay. Okay. So no, the thing is that it's just a transaction. That's I don't believe that would be your CUSIP because the transactions aren't not issuing.
I'm not saying it's my CUSIP. I'm just saying something was created based off of the transaction. Two parties made a contract together. I purchased.
Oh, yeah.
Right. That transaction, that invoice actually, the invoice ID, which I have plenty of, right? I purchased from eBay through PayPal many times, but there's very, minimum. Actually, this is the only one, to be honest, that I found under this information.
Oh, that's cool. No, that's cool. I was thinking that you were going to like claim it or anything in that regard. And
well, it's under asset detail when you look at the tax filing of this company. There's a paper trail, basically, right?
Yeah, but so here's the thing: when it comes to securities, unless your name's on it or you have your name somehow entitled to it somewhere in the paperwork, it's not going to be yours to be entitled to.
When you say paperwork, which paperwork? The transaction
all paperwork? Every single paperwork, every paperwork. So like the transaction paperwork, a lot of the time they're bearer transactions, but because you're making one transaction, so say like you're making from like a Visa credit card, that's a Visa account transferring to whatever merchant account that is, accepting that transaction at the time. They're just transactions. You'll know on the security side of things if you're entitled to it or not to be able to claim it. The transaction is not what you claim as a security per se. You claim it as income. So the transaction can be claimable as income, and more importantly, the taxes on these the transactions can be exempt. You could go. I'm pretty sure PayPal has an exemption program where you can issue not only your WABEM for federal taxes, you can issue for your state taxes as well. The state probably has state forms to exempt the tax for, and you always want to be able to issue your tax exemption for the program that you're trying to exempt yourself from.
Okay, now let me ask you this though. What if it's your driver's license renewal document? Is that considered?
Okay. Renewal wouldn't. It would technically be your driver's license is really what it is. Your driver's license and the application.
Right. So let's say I found the numbers there. Would that be considered?
Yeah, that's reportable.
Okay, so then I have that too. AAA too.
Yeah, you can report that as a.
I just thought I'd start with
security on a
PayPal. I just thought I'd
1099B.
start small with PayPal before I went to the big dogs. You know what I mean? Like that's all. I was going to start small, but you're saying no with PayPal?
No, because receipts are only just for income tax. Really, it has nothing to do with securities.
It's just interesting.
They're evidence based, is what I mean. They're not securities.
So why would this be on here? Is my question. Why would this invoice number be attached to the treasury?
Oh, because all transactions have to be reported when you're a corporation like that. It's part of the taxation base for corporations, since the PayPal is a bank.
Okay, why is it one is and the rest aren't? So I'm saying I have a lot of receipts. This specific one.
Probably PayPal's a bank. I have
That's
no
what I'm saying.
idea.
I make
You're gonna have to ask
transactions.
PayPal.
Right. I make transactions all the time at PayPal. Even my friends, I've checked their invoice numbers, right? Nobody. So as I'm saying, like, it's funny that it's just this one particular transaction and not the rest. I mean, I'm a constant eBay purchaser, you know what I mean? Like constant. And this is the only one. That's all. Hey, yo,
I don't look for anomalies. I think that's a big part about me. I don't look for anomalies. I look for guarantees. And anomalies aren't typically meaningful unless they have some sort of exemplification behind them. That seems like it's I'm not sure how. I don't even know what I'm talking about as a transaction. I don't even know what I'm like. What you're really like. I don't know what it looks like. So you're more than welcome to follow up with me to be able to
Okay, I'll send you some over sometime.
Hey, I don't know if this matters, but PayPal is linked with Synchrony Bank. That might help.
That is true.
Synchrony Bank? Which was Synchrony?
Yeah. Synchrony Bank.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm unfortunately gonna have to meet you at this time, Comptroller, just because I'm sorry. Here, actually, I'll just allow you to speak. But if you could just keep your mic muted when you're busy. Yeah. So Shanyata.
Yeah, it's Shunyata. How you doing? I just wanted to thank you for all your good work that you're doing here. It's awesome stuff. Yeah, I've done a process with another group, quote unquote, and I was just been waiting, and I filed. I'm doing it on the private side with a trust, essentially, and got a letter back from the IRS, and it was said, we're working on your account. However, we need an additional 60 days so we can send you a complete response to what action we're taking on your account. We don't need any further information.
For what account?
Just basically, I have a trust, and I have an individual account as well, of course, but I haven't filed anything basically for about 30 years. I stayed out of that side because when I did my research, I said, taxes are voluntary, so I took it literally. So I'm just curious about what your feelings on that and what tack you think is going on, and just coast with it, just let it go, or take any kind of thing whatsoever, because I know that the IRS has tactics as well, and I'm just gonna. My plan was just to sit with it, wait and see, because it was for a pretty large amount, but yeah.
So wait, hold on. What was for a large amount? What exactly? What exactly? So apparently you created a trust, okay, and then with this trust you ended up performing a return for it. Is that what I'm assuming?
Yeah. I did a 1041 and some 1099Bs on my bank account, okay, and basically in accordance with what they're doing, they're hypothecating and trading on the dividends, the name, social, that kind of thing like that. So that was included in the trust as far as it goes for expenses, and also withholding on here. So I never got any correction notices. I didn't get a denial notice, nothing whatsoever from them, but just this letter.
You didn't get an acceptance either, it sounds like, considering the fact that they sent that letter. So sounds like they're terminating
it. They did actually say it was accepted. They said it was a successful file. It was accepted. I didn't see any negative.
What was the accepted file? Was your 1099Bs? Is that what you're saying? That was
1099Bs were accepted, and also the it said that I did it with TaxAct online, and so on the it basically said your filing was accepted, it was successful, and then that was the last thing I heard.
When you filed your 1099Bs, how did you file them with federal withholdings, or did you file them indifferent from what I've educated people?
They were in let's see, 1099B. It was federal withholding, quote unquote. Like let's say that
if you filed a federal withholding, they're incorrect.
Well, I mean, you mean federal withholding in terms of the 1099B itself, like. What I did specifically is the tax withholding. Okay, I'm, as far as the lingo goes, I'm still learning exact lingo, so forgive me. I dwell on the silent part of self, but
no worries, no worries.
But it was for the federal withholding. Like, for instance, let's say that you have a bank account, okay, and then they charge you, this much is how much you add up with your deposits, quote unquote, and then from there monetize.
No, that's income. No, that's income.
Okay.
So that's a different teaching from other people that I don't accept as practice.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from though, and I appreciate you telling me that. So if you filed a federal withholding on a 1099 on any of the 1099s, they're wrong. They're going to have to correct them. That's not where the federal withholdings are coming from, because there is no federal withholdings.
Right. Because it was under, it was tax withholding is what it was, and that was
that's incorrect.
24% of what the total amount was basically on there, but
because
that's what I'm trying to get understood, because what I'm seeing, or my interpretation is, I'm seeing a lot of people use different forms. And like when you actually look at what the 1099B form is, it's basically a stockbroker's form for reporting, trades on there and gain and loss. But it's being used for so many other things, which really throws, off. And unless you be privy to the reason why they're using it. I mean, granted, if you look at say income on a bank and dividends and such like that, right? I mean, everything is a security through there. So it's in a far left-hand side field way. Yeah, you could say that the form is valid, but I'm just not sure exactly where to go with this now. And I'm, not to say anything to them, or just let them work it out and correct and do what they need to do in those 60 days. And then they'll contact me, I guess, because they didn't want any, they say they don't need any information from me at this point.
I think the best principle to follow is that you're the one leading your entire case. The IRS is not leading your cases. It's you that leads your case. So if you know that you have made a mistake, you're going to have to be the one that follows up with that correction, and preferably before they figure it out, because it helps them. right? You're guiding them as the master for the system, not as the you know what I mean. So in regard, when it comes to fixing it, I would fix it in the corrections that I have advised in my previous videos, where you would remove your federal withholdings because there was no point to put them on to begin with. And you don't have any taxation to report when it comes to your securities, nor do you have any capital gains to report, because we're not reporting any transactions in regard when it comes to our securities. We are reporting the security and the value of the security. That's it. It's a settlement it's a settlement report. So the reason why we report a settlement report is for the purpose of income. So then we can claim this is something we generated as income throughout the year, and we can borrow against. Income's the name of the game. So when you are reporting a bank, for example, and you're reporting an account that you've generated, say, $50,000 worth of income through, that's now you can use that as income to borrow against. That's the whole point. And it's the security that backs the account is what we can use to borrow against. It's your securities. And this is the securities we talk about that are being abandoned. Of course they are. You didn't even know that you can claim them on a 1099-B. And once you claim them on a 1099-B, you can borrow against them.
Yeah, that's basically the whole point of what, we were trying to do on here, because I think after looking at things, the better route on this particular method or process would be to do the 1099-A on them, on the accounts, let the IRS figure out.
No, you don't have to acquisition. No, you don't have to acquisition because you're already the one that's entitled to the securities. You're the one that created them. You just failed to report them because that's actually your job. So, yeah.
But if you don't know how much they are, then that's kind of like from the angle that we were coming at is that it's fraud because the banks aren't reporting them either, right? On that side of things.
They're not required to. Yeah, and here's the thing: even all they're required to technically report is the loans and debts and things that they create. So when you're creating a debt, for example, they're using the same security. They're using the same security that you created to make their loans. And so say, like, for example, when you deposit into a bank $10 and then fractional reserve banking allows the bank to borrow against it 9 times, and then now you have $90 entered into the system and $10 is withheld, so making $100. They're borrowing against your application.
That's where the monetized by 10 comes in. That makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah, they just monetize your application 10 times.
So that's what we claim when we were, doing the amount, right? You have the total deposits for the year, quote unquote. Okay. And then essentially you're monetize that by 10 and then take 24% of that. And then that's the amount that you call, your refund.
What?
Quote unquote. No. Okay.
No. No, that had nothing to do with
not in reality, but that's what I was going on. Okay, that's what.
That's funny.
Just going by what I was going on.
No, that's funny. No. I was just talking in general. No. In retrospect, for what we're doing here, we're just reporting the security. That's all. So what we're doing is we're just reporting a value of it. There isn't a federal withholding on the security side. There isn't any taxation on the security side. We're just reporting the values of our assets to claim as income. All of the creation of the credits is done at the returns, where you're doing it either for your individual or you're doing it for your withholding agent. One of the two can make a return and generate currency at that stage. It's not done at the security stage.
Okay.
So you'll have to go back and you'll have to recorrect every 1099-B that you created by only reporting just the values and not having any federal withholdings or anything in that regard. And then additionally, you're going to have to follow up with all my previous and additional steps that I plan on posting in order to correct all of the details to your account.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in a little bit of pickle for that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, AJ. Appreciate the help, man.
No problem. And I'll do my best to actually help for those that have unique cases. I'm doing my best. Yeah. So.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
God bless. I mean, any other questions? No, doesn't seem like it.
Actually, I have one.
Oh, we're closed now. Sorry.
Oh, you go. You go.
It's over. Thank you for ever coming. No, I'm just joking. What's going on? How you doing? Come on up.
All right. So, check this. I just want to say that what you just said right now, I have my mic muted, but it was very powerful what you just mentioned right now. Okay.
Cool.
Let's go. There's a group of people who been following that same exact method, right? I was almost tempted to pull that method, and so I did file. I did half of the method. I did a 1099A and two 1099Bs, but I didn't follow with a 1041 because I wasn't sure. I wasn't feeling right about it, and so then came across what what you're talking about, and it makes more sense.
Yeah.
And so, but I appreciate you bringing enlightenment into that. And Shunyata, I appreciate you bringing up the question, right? That was important. Me and Shunyata know each other, so. But I appreciate it, AJ. I mean, that's all I had to say.
Oh, thank you. I hope after I get all the generalized tutorials out, I can dive further into more of the understandings of in my future posts, more in depth of what each form does, their elements, and things like that, to give more proper description of, because it seems like a lot of it actually, believe it or not, is that's what's causing the problem. So once you understand the forms, then you're like, I can formulate in my head a pathway of how to be able to receive my goal. Because I don't think anybody just understands what the formulation of each form does. And everybody has different methods for different things. And each form also has multi-capacities for different elements of different results. So yeah, absolutely very dynamically confusing element that we're all in. And no guide, no manual specifically, or someone as a teacher or anything to tell you guys this. And even for myself, it's rather still also difficult. So, but yeah, I'm here with you guys following along. Not as a teacher, but definitely as a leader. That's for sure. Because I make mistakes all the time too, right? Definitely not perfect.
Yeah, but this is what I respect about you, right? You make a mistake and you say, hey, this is a mistake, I'm retracting this, and you remove the video. See, that's honorable, right? You get straight to the point.
Oh, thank you.
Your way of teaching, and you get straight to the point, and sometimes people overthink and make it over difficult on themselves instead of just following straight, basic on what you're doing. That's how I've been following it. I had help from somebody as well that's been in this group and basically helped me too as well. So I always thank everybody who, we all play a key part. We can all learn from each other. I'm new to all of this. I'm only 6 months in, and I'm grasping it pretty quick. And so I appreciate the way you teach.
Oh, thank you, brother.
And I yield to that.
Bringing in a few more people. How are you guys doing today? I brought in
There I am.
Yeah.
AJ, thank you so much for everything you're doing.
We appreciate you so much. I know you hear this all the time, but thank you so much. My question is, do we need the Form 56 for the fiduciary that folks are mentioning here?
No.
Ever?
In my regard, no. Here, I have to keep pulling up the Form F56 because I feel it's F56. What was it again? Oh,
yeah, the 56.
No. No. So it's a concerning fiduciary relationship. It's basically in Canada, it's the AUTH-01. AUT-01 is just basically authorization for another person to be able to act as your authority. In regard to all the information that I have provided, no. When you're diving into like things like trusts or doing taxes for other people and filing them for other people kind of circumstance, then yes, this would be more of a form that to include. But in the information up until this point where I've told people, no, not at all.
Great, because they were just saying you needed to make yourself the fiduciary.
No, you already are the entitled beneficiary.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
All your securities that you're making at the bank and at the credit cards and at school and wherever applications you're making, you're all entitled beneficiaries the moment you sign it. Those are all your securities. So you have right to report them at any given time, just no one is. And no one understood that this is the method in order to be able to create income and credits and stupid shit like that. But believe it or not, it's all in the instructions when you all start putting it together. That's
Very good.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. And then I just had another question. Now, when I did my paperwork, I did the 1042S with your guidance on the last time, and I'm on hold with that. I haven't sent it in yet, so I'm waiting for that. But
the 1042S is correct. The 1042 is the last form that I just haven't given instructions for.
Right. So those instructions were good for the 1042S at this point?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then I didn't do a withholding agent yet. I did it with the individual because the individual is the withholding agent at this point. And I know you mentioned if you don't, that's fine. Gonna do it. As you said, it's going to make your life easier in the future. But at least on this run, if I don't use the withholding agent, I'm okay using the individual.
Yes, that's correct.
Wonderful. God, I just love you. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just simple answers. Just yes or no. Yeah. Who else has got questions? What do you guys got going on?
Hi, AJ.
I'm actually just...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. What's up?
No, I'm sorry. Stepping on you.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Are you familiar with doing EINs, if you will?
Yeah.
Okay, AJ, I have a question. I have done 3 separate EINs, Minnesota DBA, and of course with a trust, so I've done 3 in accordance of a time period of 5 months. And I want to do my sole proprietor EIN, but I couldn't do it online. And they said, the IRS website said, please call a number. So I called them the next day, and they had stated to me that I need to do a SS4 for sole proprietor EIN. Are you familiar with doing that? I want to make sure I answer these questions correctly. And I just need someone to walk me through that aspect of it at some point here, I guess. I know this is probably different from what you folks typically talk about with 1099s.
No, actually, the withholding agent is considered a sole proprietorship, so you're in the right department here.
Okay.
I don't I'm not sure how you're having an issue. Are you having an issue creating your EIN online in regard? And what specifically are you looking to do anything with your sole proprietorship list? Because like for me, I don't I do business with myself as a sole proprietor, but it for liability purposes, I would try not to. I would put all my business in other businesses and things, right? Like when it comes to taxable income, when it comes to non-taxable income, I just keep it all at the individual level. And the only time I would need a sole prop would be this withholding agent, who would be considered a sole proprietor irregardless.
Okay. I am new to this, if you will, so pardon my ignorance.
No, don't be. I just bang out like complications like that. So it's just for the recordings if I kind of get complex. So don't mind me.
Right on. No, I appreciate your help and time. So I want to do it for banking purposes, and from what I gathered, that when you try to do it online and you go through that process, but it says sorry for the inconvenience. We cannot process your EIN at this time. Please call IRS. And so I called the individual there, and he said that I did too many EINs in a 5-month period. So therefore,
that's why.
Yes.
Yeah. So then you're just gonna have to do it manually now and send them by mail, unfortunately.
Correct, or fax. But
or
however,
fax.
Yes, but however, in that regard, those questions are different, if you will, than they are when they ask you on the online format. You follow me? And I want to make sure I answer these correctly. And anyway, I was hoping to get some kind of a guidance. I've been trying to get a hold of this other guy that introduced not just me, but many of us with just doing it online. But however, he has stated he has many EINs, but I've been working on this for the last 2 weeks, and I have not gotten any response. I know there's several other people that are also looking for not necessarily a template, but the correct answers to these questions on SS4.
Yeah, I'll make paper versions. Yeah, I'll make paper version videos for that for sure, and tutorials for it.
Okay.
In actually the tutorials we have both the in the regard to the security process, we have for both the paper and the online version. I'll make sure to do that when also tutorializing the withholding agents and sole proprietorships.
Oh, wonderful. Do you have a time frame for that, AJ? At all?
I think we have a withholding agent post. I don't know if it has paper version in there. I'm gonna have to add it to my to-dos into a TBA. I'm not sure. I will do it as soon as possible, but I honestly really it's just adding more people to my team, and then we can really start getting this ball rolling. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for your time and help, okay? I look forward to seeing that.
No problem. Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you.
Hello, AJ.
I am the AJ. Hello.
I know you are. I've been following you for
God,
quite
no, I
a
don't
while.
want to be AJ anymore. I'm sorry. If you're Fed, I'm not AJ. I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know that guy.
I don't know who you are. Yeah.
I just want to say I agree with everything that Luis had just said a while back, or a couple people ago. Listen, I've been following you since Holly, and I know, like, with the W4 and all that, I never did any of that, and I hit you up in, I think it was December, and you hit me back with the 8949. And I told you that I would file,
yes.
I go ahead and get it done or whatever. Anyways, I was still kind of, I just wasn't sure what to do. So anyways, I haven't done anything. The only thing I did do was I added up all of my W-2s, W-4s, and 1099s, and I put them all on a 1040, and I sent them in on the 15th. And I ain't heard back anything yet. But I'm kind of wondering what I can do now, because I still have outstanding things that I could go ahead and file. And what happened is that I didn't go back to work. I just, until I get this stuff figured out. And they sent me, but my insurance company sent me my withholding agent. They said, here, if you need to get insurance with another employer, here's your withholding agent, and man, that just made it all come true, that this is exactly what they're doing in the 1099-B. So I want to get this stuff going, and I need a tax return. So I think I had it was like $560,000 on the tax return, and I haven't heard anything back yet. So tomorrow I think is running into the 6th week. So you think I should call these guys and see if there's something else they need, or?
Oh,
because
no,
I haven't.
You'll have to follow up with. So for United States people, you'll have to follow up with the 1042, 1040S, and 1040T. Or the 1042S, the 1042T, and then the 1042. All three of those forms are follow-ups. That's what we have come to conclude, and this is the final conclusion.
Okay.
It's the final countdown.
Now would I need to with all those numbers on there, correct? Or should I do a 1099-B as well?
No, your 8949 is the equivalent to the 1099-B. So once filed and received manually, then that can be used as evidence. And even if you haven't sent it yet, if you include it into your tax packages for sending anything, but because you'll have to send the 1040, I'm not sure if you can do the 1042 on fire. Someone will have to confirm with me that I think it might be possible. Pretty sure. But if you don't, you can also send it by mail. The 8949 is unfortunately a manual form. But the reason why you would want to, as an alternative to a 1099-B, is because just in case you don't know a value of a security, you can use the 8949 to report the security as in full. So then you can be like, oh, I get the full value of the security. And then when you're making your claims for, say, credit creation, then they'll go back and look at that 8949 or the 1099-B and be like, yeah, that's comparable. We have an asset here that has income that we can compare to.
Okay. So now there was some stuff that I didn't send. Like I just sent all the obvious stuff, like the W-2s, 1099s, and all of that stuff. I didn't send like the invoices that I've gotten from like the insurance company on what was reported to them. And from what I understand, that is also income that they're receiving. You know what I'm saying? So like if the W-2 says, 80,000 and they're reporting to them 80,000, they're reporting that as income. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing that as like, doubling. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is that when doing the security side of things, you're only reporting the value of your assets. So if it's not your income to report, then you have no reason to report other people's incomes. You know what I'm saying? So like because we're also tax exempt, so we really shouldn't be reporting any taxable income. But when we're reporting incomes, we're just reporting incomes that against our assets that we're reporting. So say, for example, if you got a bank account, that bank account has ran through $50,000 that year, then you can report that as a 1099-B for $50,000. And then additionally, you can also report the insurance policy for that bank account, the FDIC stupid thing, for $250,000 on a 1099-B. So now you got two 1099-Bs. So
you mean per quarter, right? I mean, so that would be like $1 million.
No, FDIC is per account, not per quarter. They rotate that. Yeah, that Holly was wrong about that.
Okay. Yeah, it's it's been a long go through, and I'm glad I haven't sent any W-4s. That seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, if you haven't sent W-4s, then no need to. You can just send 1042s, and that will solve all your problems. You will never need to do a 1040 set.
Okay. So you're saying that I should go ahead and contact them and see if there's something else outstanding before they issue a return, or you're saying that I need to issue a 8949 in order for them to issue a return along with the 1042?
To follow up with specifically you, my friend, you'll want to follow up with whatever security reporting. So whether a 1099B or an 8949 to report any security that has that equal value that you have tried to claim on your 1090 or the 1040. You will have to also follow up with a W8BEN if you haven't already. And then additionally,
No, I have not.
Yeah, that's going to help exempt all the income. And then the final equation is the 1042 series. That's where your origin point for reporting the incomes come from. And all of that together will formulate your refund.
Okay. And one other kind of weird question I have is...
and also probably a 1040V. Sometimes the IRS
1040V?
Okay. They don't. Yeah, sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything, but they haven't heard anything from me for years. So why would they say anything? You know,
it's because they haven't probably had a report from somewhere that you had taxable income. So why bother you?
Yeah, for sure. What is the difference between the IRS and the IRIS?
Iris? It's just a portal. IRIS is an acronym for filing documents. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then this, I don't know who, with your return receipt for international mail, I looked into this form 2865, and this is the only form that says United States of America. Is that how you created your withholding agent? Your insured and withholding agent? Mail back to yourself?
Oh, no. Okay, so for me, this would be considered what's called a certificate of service. As a certificate of service, in Canada, we can get our certificates of service issued digitally and also certified and mailed out by our head office at Canada Post. So for me, I did mine digitally. It wasn't specifically required to have this additional certificate. However, in the United States, for those that are using for tracking as exactly the way that I created it, the United States is also digitalized. This isn't a required thing either, but if you want like further confirmation that of a certificate of service, you're more than welcome to attach this to the envelope as well.
Right. Okay. Because that actually, I think what this does is it actually registers it into the system through the postal union.
And also, too, when you're picking up your envelope, you are more than welcome to ask so say, for example, if you are issuing the letter to a general box at the post office, you can also ask the postmaster there when you're picking up that letter for a receipt for it being pulled out of the network. They'll issue that. It's a $0 receipt.
Right.
But it's only for tracking. If you don't have tracking, they can't do it.
Mm-hmm. But I was thinking that would be a pretty cool way to go ahead and register your agent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a certificate. For sure.
Yeah. So anyways, a lot of cool stuff, man. I've learned so much from you. I mean, in your methods, it's just crazy and I get all the confusion because everybody's listening to 10 other people, and they're like me too as well. I'm trying to figure out which method to use. So, but you're more solid on your stuff. And like, how long have you been doing this? Because I used to follow a guy around 2009, 2010. I want to say that you're that guy.
No,
Been
I
around
am
for
not.
quite a while.
I actually, believe it or not, when I started my speaking journey in Lone Wolf's group, I just randomly started shouting out some stuff in there, just joining their group and kind of listening in. But actually, no, I started at the W4. I did participate in their convos, but it wasn't like very much. And actually, believe it or not, Hollywood would shut me down a couple of times every once in a while. So, but then as I came back to the group 2.5 years later, very more receptive. And that's when everybody started like listening to me and found me there, which was very cool. That's really when I started, when speaking to people was there. And it was at that moment I started at Lone Wolf, and the moment that I started speaking about anything, they like immediately shut me down, or all the admins started asking me for like if I wanted to like make like group sessions to start charging people, and it was just all fucked up. I didn't like any of that.
Right.
And and it was very disrespectful. Then but my learning for this has been for about at least like good 10 years minimum for sure.
Wow. That's it. That's a lot of reading.
I started I think my first actual real thing was Robert Menard and his 96 is your fix A for V stuff. That was
maybe
really
that's
a
who
long
it
time
was.
ago.
Yeah, because there was a guy from Canada, and I just want to say one thing too is I
his
know
truth
that
board.
Yep. Hey,
yeah, that guy.
A lot of these people don't know that you were the only guy who helped Holly out at the end. So I just want to say that. I know you did. So, and she got a return because of you. I know. So.
Oh, did she?
But anyways, I do appreciate you. Huh?
That's good. That's
What's
good to
that?
hear.
Good. I'm glad. I'm just glad I finally talked to you. Thank you very much for everything that you do, AJ. And I'm gonna. You know what? If you could, you want to do my stuff for me? Can you do that?
A lot of people are asking me to, and this is why I'm
sure
thinking like, just build an application. I'm gonna use the exact same application. This is really for me more than for you. So,
right,
definitely.
Sure. Oh man, but thank you very much. I yield at that. Thank you. Have a great day.
Likewise. And, for everybody here that does come from the W4 group, for a brief moment of respect and prayers for Holly for passing. Her smoking baby and a couple of admins in that group provided some rather like useful information to be able to piece a lot of this information together. It was your guys' successes that also motivated me for that. So just, I'm a moment of respect for that because it's I don't know if I've really spoken about her. It was really odd to me, the way that it happened. It's as a friend. It is a death beyond me, where it's something where the family will have to follow up on, and I'm pretty sure they probably have. I know that they probably have tried to reach out to me. I haven't actually spoken to them as of yet, in regard, but I would like to. They aren't directly messaging me. They're going through third parties. And every time I go through a third party, I say, yeah, go ahead. Here's my number. Here's my email. Here's my phone. More than because I actually don't have direct contact information to their family. I have tried. So anybody that more than welcome, I have posted my information for multiple times. So you can ask me again and I can do it again. More than welcome to call me. Because if she didn't get her return, I'm pretty sure she did, but if she didn't, that family is still entitled to that. And then some, especially for her estate. She did a lot of things to her estate where it's probably very valuable. So.
Hey, AJ.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I'm the new one in the group, but I want to say, please forgive me with the question I'm about to ask you because it's Mother's Day and I was out with my mom. So if someone asks this question, please forgive me if I ask it again because I just hopped on. So the US, right? I did the individual on your process, right? And then go ahead. Were you about to say something?
No, I just said cool.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I was agreeing with you.
Oh, yeah. So what I want to know is, because I hadn't sent my paperwork off yet, because I wanted to make sure I had all the right documents. So I did the individual. I have the 1040. I have the W8 bin. But then I seen that this 1042 and this 1042S came out. Me as an individual, do I still need to fill out that 1042?
Yeah.
I do?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that another piece to getting the withholdings?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I needed to know. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No problem. This piece came after a response from the IRS, so that's why it's being followed up as additional videos rather than included in the originals. Yeah,
And
this was an IRS response.
And is there in the file, is there a way to fill it out? Because I haven't looked at it yet. I just seen it in the chat.
Oh, I haven't described actually how to do it. I've described how to do the 42S, but I haven't done the whole series. So what I've told people in today's chat is I plan on releasing a wiki. So there's like a text tutorial of it. And then additionally, there will be clip videos of every step of the process.
And is it recommended that a 1041T or 1040T go with that? No? Okay. Okay. I rest. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no
Hey,
problem.
really quick. Should I just message you? Because I've talked to her family. I mean, I don't really want to talk about it. But I can just message you. And I'll try to hit them up and give them, ask if I can give them their numbers to you or something like that. If you can't, otherwise reach.
Yeah, there's like a father and a brother and some things
I've
like that.
I've talked to her father just the other day, and I mean, I don't really want to go into their personal.
I haven't seen you in a minute. Where have you been?
Oh my God, I gave up on all the tax forms, dude. It was just too much. They've been trying to kick me out, and I just decided to try to work on my case because like I had to. It was like a forced situation where it's like, oh, you're gonna put me on the street and kill me, like I'm disabled, like I have to do an injunction and I don't know how to do court, so I had to learn all that, and I'm still dealing with that. So I had to like let all the tax forms go because, you know what I mean, like it was like I could only handle one thing. I couldn't handle multiple new lessons. I just started learning this stuff. You said 10 years. I just started learning this stuff when you met me in W4. So, and I had like a tiny bit of understanding about law, like a tiny, like I knew the law, but like I didn't ever, you know, study this stuff like everybody else. So it's just like, I just got overwhelmed learning it. So unfortunately, I keep thinking like, oh man, I should have just stuck with the tax forms, but you know, yeah, it is what it is.
No, it's understandable.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, definitely. Please do. Reach out to me. Because I can definitely talk to them directly. It's just for some reason, I don't know why. I don't know why. Because I reach out, I said, people have reached out to me. And I said, cool, here's my information. Never get a call. I don't get voicemail, nothing about it. And we listen to everything. So, if you could set that up for us, more than I would love that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do my best. Yeah, I'll just reach out to it's really the deal is that there's a trustee.
They weren't really
in
connected,
England.
were they?
Huh?
The family wasn't really connected. What were they?
No, and it's just like a lot of pain going on with what has occurred and certain other things that is very concerning. But I think
Right.
I think there's a trustee in England, right? So yeah, that'd be the person who. Anyways,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I would try to just get her dad to talk to you and catch you up with the deal, and then maybe he can think about it, about what to do, because he talks to everybody. So even though he doesn't talk to everybody, I think that's probably the most reasonable thing to do. So I'll hit him up. All right.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool. And even though her anomaly, like everyone understands that she got a refund from the Amazon package that she sent from this big box of tax returns, and that was one of those exempted kind of cases that was considered at the IRS level. So that's why she got that refund. And people have just been trying to decipher it ever since. And I've been able to basically reverse engineer that. So now we all understand what through previous videos what withholdings are and what's the point of all that. And more importantly, what the point of a W-4 is, like the actual, like what it says on the form. It's not meant to go to the IRS. It's meant to go to the employers and those that we're paying our funds to. But there's just now a better way to do it, which is you can file tax exemption certificates rather than having to do that really non-guaranteed way of a W-4 that everybody was trying and not getting success at. That I think there's like an 8% success rate at that. And I'm excited for everyone here because within really short amount of time, my success rate that has already been successful is just going to increase in ratio for all you guys, because now we have the finalization formula. I haven't been followed up with any other IRS forms or the CRA, and now that we're just now ready to go international, so that's cool. International.
Hey, AJ. There was a gentleman earlier speaking about.
I'm not AJ. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad.
My bad.
There was a guy earlier chatting about how he's got to do the SS4 and send that in the mail, or do it through fax. There's an application or an extension for an application called Fax Plus. I think it's fax.plus, and you can sign up and get free access to send faxes. I think it's like 10 faxes that you can send for free. It links to your Google account. And then it's real cheap for a monthly plan, and you get like a number and you can send like 200 faxes. But I did that specifically with the SS4 form that the other guy was chatting about. And if you have it already filled out in your Google Docs, and then you call them up saying, hey, I got this form I want to file, they'll give you a fax number, and then you just plug in that number into Fax Plus, send it off. You can do it all right while you're on the phone with them. And then they get it and they'll confirm it. And they'll say, oh, yes, you're confirmed. Here you go. Or they might even ask you for additional information. The form he was talking about and how he wanted to fill it out, he shouldn't run into any issues if he filled it out correctly. So if they're coming back saying like, oh, well, we need additional proof of identity or this or that, or we're going to send it in for additional review, then he did something wrong. So I also did something wrong and went that direction. But yeah, Fax Plus.
Yeah, you're basically saying get yourself an online fax number, and then you can just basically send your scanned documents to the IRS directly that way.
Yeah, because I just go right onto the IRS website, the PDF there, just type everything in that I need, print it out, put my wedding signature on it, and then I could fax that off right then and there. And then if you're really good with the computer, you can actually like sign your signature on a piece of paper and just take a photo of it and then like transfer that and turn it into a digital signature, and you never even have to print it out. You could just do it all right from the computer, and then you're good to go.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. I'm not an eco-conscious person, believe it or not. But like I am all about simplicity, and having to like print out papers and sign them and scan them is definitely annoying. Digitalization is definitely the way to go. I think that's actually a big thing about also me versus like other gurus or people that are out there educating this stuff. They really like paper. They're like, no, well, electronic will not get you there. I have no idea where that came from. I'm all about it because it's just so simple and it's cooperative. And once you understand what it does, you're like, oh, cool, right? So yeah, digitalization all the way. It's just insurances are doing it now, and we are technically insurance adjusters for our own accounts because the IRS is an insurance agency, and so is the Canadian Revenue Agency. That's the whole point of a social insurance number, because you have an insurance policy, because you're your own adjuster with a withholding agent. Oh my gosh, it's just like a rabbit hole.
Hello, AJ.
Yes.
Hey, this is Terrence. This is
no,
Terrence.
Terrence. Hey,
yes.
Terrence.
How you doing? Hey, good to be talking to you.
I'm good, man.
All right, great. We text back and forth. You actually had a chance to look at my tax case. I'm the one that actually went up against them. My question was this, just a quick one. Just want to make sure I've got the correct forms. 1042, the 1042S, and the T. Those are the only three forms that I am left needing to get correct.
Yep. And probably a 1040V. Just if you've followed up with 1040s, you'll probably need to do the V as well, because that's what helps transfer the credits to your individual tax return. Not always required. The IRS sometimes follows up with be like, hey, we need that. So I just threw it out there. But yes, everything that you just said, yes, those are the additionals, those three forms.
The only thing that's additional to this end would be the 1040V, which is the coupon payment form to them.
Yep, just the way it is, as is. Just fill it out the way that they want you to.
Thank you very much. That's all. Good.
Yeah, no worries. No, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you can just generate it and save it as a PDF and send it to them. I don't think there's a signing or anything required. So, yeah. How silly is that? They can generate it themselves, but no, we're going to let you do that. See, you're the insurance adjuster. You're leading every step of the way here with these agencies.
Well, I thought earlier you said a 1040T, but I want to clarify the actual documents.
Voucher.
1040V.
Yeah, so that would be 4 forms. It's not typically required to do a V. It really is not. But they might ask. And that's when you'll be like, okay, fine.
So it's just good to have it in there just in case. And even if I sent it all 4 forms, if they don't need the V, they can just tear it up anyway.
Exactly. They will dismiss your forms if they don't like it. And more importantly, they will not tell you that they dismissed it because they are just great people. So, that's exactly it. They will just disregard it if they don't need it.
That's all I need. Just wanted clarification.
Cool. I should actually apply to work at these agencies. I was thinking about it. But then again, that'd make me a Fed. I didn't really want to become a Fed.
Well, you know the reason why they don't like me anyway.
Why are you a Fed?
No, remember, I'm the one that sued him twice.
Oh yeah, that's right. Right, yeah. Everybody in here's a Fed now, though. How can I trust any of you? Going to my own conspiracy mindset. You know, actually, honestly, if you guys are Feds, that's really cool. A lot of you guys, believe it or not, like some of you guys are messaging me as like ex-cops and ex-like military and ex-paramedics and like all different type of like services that are like beneficial for the quality of life. That so like, you know, hats off to you guys. I highly respect you guys. And even to the agents at these tax agencies also trying to decipher what the hell are we doing and if we're doing it correctly. You know, hats off to you guys as well. Trying to do things as honorable as possible, because the whole point here is cooperation. If we have a right to do this, there shouldn't be a problem doing this. So I think that's also why I'm finding cooperation with them at that scale versus them just going out and attacking like they did with like the Tucci scenario, or they did with a couple other different gurus that was just like way out there. Like they're sending like military kind of shit after people, and that I have not experienced that in any fashion other than CSIS following me around. That's been kind of a little weird, but other than that. I feel like they're my own entourage if I ever really needed the security. Yeah, I posted that on my Twitter about CSIS. That's fun times. A big part too is that's actually part of the requirement to when you're having a status like mine. You get watched more. Mainly because of that status. So I actually prefer it, considering the fact that I do have that status. I have nothing to hide in regard that way. But more importantly, there's nothing illegal about me. So I do have things to protect when it comes to my privacy. And they respect it. Majority of the time. Majority of the time. Not always, but majority. I'm also just reading your text chats. Seeing a lot of thank yous. And again, thank you guys for being here. Always a learning curve and experience with everyone here. Even with the oh my gosh, I'm bad with names, but I know your faces. There was a lady up here talking about Kusups and whatnot. You know, it's cool. I'm glad that you guys are thinking and you guys are like, you know, actually looking for like really kind of cool, unique details like that. I just, unfortunately, as brash as I am, just try to give you my principles of how I look for things. But it's really cool that you guys are like coming at a lot of even my information as different perspectives. So, yeah. Yeah, modernize e-file, that works.
AJ, quick question. So the SS4 and the SS5 was mentioned. Is that needed for this process for us as well?
Yeah, I actually just saw that question. Your question, actually.
Yeah, I thought I'd ask. So
question. It's you. No, yeah. Okay, so that's the. I'm pretty sure that's just the manual version of creating a withholding agent. Am I not right? Hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, okay.
Yes, it's the paper
It's
form.
just the manual version for it. So if you already have an online EIN, that gentleman has like filed like multiple EINs, and like the IRS is like, whoa, you're making too many online. You're gonna have to start filing by mail for security purposes. So, but for the rest of us who aren't going crazy with creating EINs, online should be completely fine. But if you can't file online, yes, the SS4 would be manual version of creating a withholding agent.
Thank you for clearing that up. Appreciate it.
No problem. And for Canadians, it's the NR5. Oh,
so AJ, basically, with your method, you'll be able to fix any problem. Am I hearing that right?
Well, this fixes your money problems.
So that's the biggest one, right? But I mean,
I think that's the majority of people's problems. Yeah.
I mean, as far as like, you know, like things that you filed in the past.
Oh yeah, like all of like the incorrect reporting of your incomes. Yeah, you're more than welcome to go back anytime for that. As we've talked about in so many different ways of how to not only get refunds from tax programs, but also to properly report the incomes as well. Because the companies were not reporting the income properly, you'll have to follow up on their own issued W-2s and T-4s and correct it for them. And yeah, additionally, when it comes to creating money, you don't have to go back for any forms because there was no money really created. You want to create more money. So you would all do that currently with the 1042 series.
Dope.
Yeah, it's pretty lit.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
I'm only 6 months into the learning process and only like a month or two into yours. So you know, I'm pushing with no fear.
Well, that's cool. And there isn't any, so like there isn't complications here. We're when it comes to them issuing returns and whatnot. I also think the tax agencies, when I first started reporting my information, they were kind of caught off guard because it was like the half-baked version of like now the completed process. So like the reason why it was working for some and then getting manually pulled because it wasn't the completed process as we now finally completed. Which I find funny that, you know, that's even the cooperation that we got, considering most other gurus just get a knock on the door and told to go to jail. Just straight to jail. Just not even just, you know what? They'll pick you up. Okay. You don't even have to go to them. They'll come to you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You ain't lying about that. So it's like, you know.
Yeah. They already know where you are before you know where you are. So.
Exactly. And for me, it's just like, if I understand my why and what's the purpose of the form, I can, you know, like you said, formulate the plan in your head and use the forms to generate what you're trying to generate.
Yeah, exactly. It's your minds that they want, you know, and that's why I posted that recent Andrew Tate video about being empty. The guy has a lot of insight, you know. I generally like his points and values. And I see some of his backgrounds of what he's doing. It's kind of cool. But with that in mind, you know, honestly, I've been here for a pretty good minute so far. It's been how long? 2.5 hours. So if anybody has any other questions? Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
how you
Hello.
doing? What's going on? How
Yeah.
you feeling? I was just wondering, can somebody do a bulk of 1040s with a 1099B and just send it in for the all past tax though?
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you repeat your question? For some reason, my headset cut out.
Can I do a bulk of 1040s with alongside a 1099B?
Yeah. Would you want to moving forward in the future? Probably not. If you haven't already followed up with all the information that I posted, probably not. You'll just want to do the 1042 series.
So, what would the 1042 series consist of?
Well, I'm not sure if you been here this entire time. I've been here for 2.5 hours answering that exact question.
I just came in not too long ago. No, not too long ago.
Okay. I have answered this question. But for the last time to answer it for you, my friend, because I like you. I actually think everybody's cool. I'll answer it 1,000 more times. I don't care. Wow, I just disassociated. What was the question? Oh, what was the series? The 1042 series is just the withholding agent tax return. So if you wanted to return per transaction versus per year, instead of doing an individual return, a 1040, you can do a withholding agent return at any given time. Yeah, you can only really file a 1040 once per year. That's really what that's all about. So, I'm all about like daily transactions. I need money like every day, daily. And there's more methods that I plan on posting. So I'm not even just talking about IRS anymore, or the CRA. There's like a whole bunch of other things I'm thinking about. We'll get there. I believe in you guys. You guys have my faith.
We believe in you.
Aw, thank you. Yeah, and someone just asked about like proofs. I've posted my proofs, and I've already talked about my case study about it on my videos. And yeah, I definitely excited to actually post the text tutorial about the exact process from beginning to end of how I came up with this entire thing. And it's not like anybody helped me. Nobody helped me. I learned it from all you guys through your successes and failures. No, that's incorrect, Jamie. I seen the total, and you have explained you have some things you have to make right with your transcripts. I listened to all your videos, and that's what has me intrigued. Yeah. Have to make right. Not with your transcripts. You can go ask for your transcripts anytime after you report your 1099Bs. Oh yeah, or when you pull up your transcripts for your tax returns, that's what it's supposed to be. It should. My transcripts are returns. My transcripts are like, giving me back money and like thousands of dollars of money. And that's the mini ones. And the 25 million everyone knows about. But that's not like the international bonds. That's not my that's just that video was never posted, but I did do a live stream for the UPU. It was supposed to be edited because we ended up posting some information into it. It was edited. I just never uploaded it. But I think it would go suitingly with the wiki launch, so might as well wait. It's not like it's an important piece to anybody's life right now anyways. Not really. You can find a lot of your exemptions at the domestic level. But we'll get to definitely protecting ourselves with trusts and different entities and things like that moving forward for sure. There's a lot of topics to talk about, guys.
Hey, so I got a question for you that's a little off the beaten path. I'm trying to get my brother and my cousin on, and they have a very base level knowledge of this, but they're pretty interested in the topic. Is there perhaps a list or something for a place where they can start from the step one and then come all the way back through all the content that you have? And is there any content that you have that's behind a paywall that they might need access to as well?
Oh, no. All my information's out there publicly for free. And at the same time, if you wanted to do the tax returns for them and file for them on your behalf, depending if you're Canadian or American, you can get that authorization form for them. That's the whole point of authorized representation. So yeah.
Okay.
If they don't want to learn, if they do want to learn, yeah, no, all my information's here in this group and it's public. So
thank you.
No problem. And also on my Twitter. I don't know what I'm doing with my Twitter. Me and Twitter are having a complicated relationship.
I totally understand.
It's situationship, guys. I love Twitter, but I don't think Twitter likes me. It never really did. And even this whole personality change, once it finally grew up and matured, it's still having complications. So you know what? Yeah, and now that I kind of know what it's all about and where its funding came from and a couple other circumstances, I don't know. It's like I actually ended up posting a poll about it. It's like, do people believe Elon Musk is part of the left or not? And it just, nothing sits comfortable with me with the director there, who is still actually, I believe, a active participant of the WEF as we speak, that's directing the company. That makes no sense. It sounds like the company ended up getting a loan or something from the IMF and just placed the WEF as the receivership or something silly like that. It's things like that that make no sense to me. And this is on paper. This isn't something of fantasy. And that's enough for me to be like, whoa, immediate rejection. Because I mean, our whole point here is the people that are our trustees and our administrators. Gosh, I can't speak today, guys. But our admins, they're a part of a team, and they have collectively decided that they are going to consider us as enemies, even though that we're the beneficiaries to our own system. And they are going to choose how we receive our benefits, which pisses me right off. Who in the fuck are you? Is my question to them. Because that's not what God said in his book of trust, in the holy Bible and the Holy Trinity. And as I posted my sim and how that distribution goes, that is above any jurisdiction that they could create our administrators for. So, to be intense, I'm just like, what the? So, but with that in regard, I mean, unless there's anything else, I think that is pretty much it for tonight. I'm definitely gonna have to do a freedom thing or something like that. I don't know. I would love to have more impactful speeches about stuff. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. either way, thank you everybody for participating and being here tonight. It was definitely awesome. I had a little bit of anxiety because I didn't know how it was all going to come out. But yeah, thank you for being here.
Hey AJ, before you go, Mike want to talk. Let him in.
Gotta go. Bye. No, I'm joking. What's up?
Something came up.
Yeah, I gotta go. Oven's on. My dog's outside. He's, I don't know, stuck in the fence. No, what's going on? How you doing? What did you want to say before I had to go?
I said Mike want to talk. Let him in.
Mike? Who? Mike who?
Mike Brownsville.
I don't know who Mike Brownsville is. I don't see him on my list. I added 2 others. Oh, is that you? Hello there.
Yeah, that's me, brother. How you doing?
It's me. Good. How you doing? Good.
Man, I was trying to get your attention for the last 2.5 hours and 1 minute.
Oh, I've been sitting here adding people to the. I'm not sure. That must have been because I've been adding everybody that's been throwing their hands up. That's a Telegram thing, and this is actually what Twitter was doing to me too. I couldn't see anybody's hands when I was doing spaces at that time. I don't know what was going on. It drive me nuts. I apologize.
You mentioned something about the 89.49. I came in just as you said it, and my ears perked up and said, "Okay." You said something about filing at 89.49 and some about court cases. Now I know you said something about claiming the bank account because that's when I heard the bank account. You said something about court cases as well. You don't know what bonds they have, right? These guys they're bringing us into these military tribunals and they're creating. I'm finding out that they created 2 trusts. One for that pre-trial that you get arrested, they force you into a bond, non-criminal offense. You go to the first court case, right? They forced me to sign away. They threatened me twice with locking me up for contempt of court because I refused to sign the waiver of representation. I just kept challenging them that I don't need to represent myself, you know? They didn't want to see my birth certificate or my Minnesota assumed name certificate either. So they, it's unknown. They got the first court case, they got the second court case, they rush you through it. They do it, they put the freaking plead in for me, practicing off on the bench, all that bullshit, man. I can go through it. But they created maybe 2 trusts and maybe a few bonds. I don't know. 3 charges. They find me not guilty for the initial charges they put me on for not having a license. So now I don't think they could bring me to court for ever having a license again because, they know that you don't need a license to operate in your private capacity. So can I file an 89.49 on all this bullshit that I'm going through? Because I've just about had it with North Carolina. I just haven't put enough time into it yet.
So the tax side of things, all you're doing is just claiming you're claiming the tax case as an asset that has value, so then you can borrow against it yourself. That's unfortunately all that the IRS is going to do for you. It doesn't have any retrospect in regards to exempting you from a court case specifically as much as whatever the charges are. But that's not at the IRS level. That's a status level. That's like an international protections level or other different elements of treaty.
I get it, brother.
And additionally, that's also against an individual. And for me, I'm all about being born again. If anybody wants to have that conversation one day, I love being born again. I'm just thinking of, bar members. If you guys are in the chat here and you guys are listening, or if you do listen to this conversation at one point, I just like to remind you guys that everything revolves around the individual. And once people start becoming born again, like Jesus has prescribed, and they know exactly what I mean by that, that is when panic and chaos is going to ensue across the entire world. And we are now at that breaking point where gentlemen like him are now asking me what do we do in circumstances like this? And really what it comes down to is your individual. If you sacrifice your individual, claim it dead, they no longer have jurisdictional standing over you. that's really the answer to that, to the questions behind the court cases, if you want to prevent yourself and stop that. For me, I try to keep my individual because it's just, I don't know. I think, but then again, at the same time, all the individual does that I'm finding is just become a liability. There is no benefit to being an individual. Everything should just be done as bare trusts at this point. So congratulations, bar members and trustees. You created your own fucking problem. And I'm going to tell everybody how to do it. So.
Yeah, I just listened to Patrick Devine say exactly what you just said today. And I couldn't believe you said something about the individual creating them dead. Very interesting. Because I know that your process is similar to that. To when I listen to him. But anyway,
yeah, at any time I can report myself dead. Yeah, and that stops anything. That stops everything, honestly. And more. But here's the thing: if you haven't made the steps of being able to re-enter into the system, then you get locked out. And that's actually what Robert Menard ended up finding himself into. He got locked out of the system for that exact process. So, if you don't know how to re-enter, I would not suggest ending your individual unless you had help from people like me or anything like that, or just knew how. But I plan on tutorializing it, and everybody can start claiming themselves as dead. Why not? We all are already dead, but we can all still be here, and we can actually be proper beneficiaries without having any restrictions as what these trustees have done to us.
I got a question on that. If you claim yourself dead, just like when I was listening to him today, my question, you made me realize it. If we do claim the entity dead, right? Something on that nature, are you closed out of doing this process here? Or should we just, claim the 100 million and then we don't need any more money after that? Or credits, I should say.
So you can so if you set yourself up properly, I'll give you a TLDR example steps of how this would look. Okay. You as an individual living your life. All right. I would make sure to do pre-steps and then post-steps. The pre-steps are setting up a trust, setting up yourself internationally, setting up a will entitled to the international version of you, and then also make sure all of your assets are properly entitled that way.
Hold on. Somebody overtold you and ruined it.
I said, as an individual, I would do pre-steps and post-steps. The pre-steps is that I would make sure that I would have an international version of myself. I would make sure my individual will is entitled to that international version of myself. I would make sure that all my assets had accessibility to that will. And then once everything is set up in place, I would then do the post steps and report myself, my individual dead, not me, but the individual. And then I would re-enter into the system by registering an ITN trust, a bear trust, and then using the business trust to operate everything of what would be commercial. And as a resident, because I have an ITN, but I'm not an individual. Oh, okay. Not an ITN. I apologize. A trust identification number, TIN. Yeah, that's how you re-enter. That's why you can't get rid of these elites, because they're not individuals. They are Barack Obama is a trust. It's not an individual. That's why he doesn't have a birth certificate. It's why John McAfee is still alive somewhere. I hope. I don't know. I actually genuinely don't know, and I don't want to disrespect the family. But if I have to think about what's his face, Epstein, and be like, how the hell did he get out? This is how he got out. He has a trust, and he ended his individual, and he played himself dead, and he's alive somewhere using that trust name. But it's a different name, obviously. So, because he didn't want to be Epstein anymore. Mm-hmm. Probably in Israel. That's why you can't go after these people, because the system is only set up for individuals. And if they're not identifying as individuals, how the hell do you get them? A trust can definitely run for residency. That's what an individual is. It's a trust. It's just, it's not a bear trust. It's an individual trust. Yeah. I can go off.
Yeah. All right. Go have a good night, man. Unless somebody else has a question. That's
yeah. Honestly, to answer your question though, really specifically, it's how would I explain it? Other than what I just said, and whole ending your individual aspect, because that's a generalized version of it for your specific circumstance. I'm not sure what the charges are.
No, it was a license. It was a license. It was a license check stop. They didn't have. I didn't know.
Oh, it's driving. Oh, it's very simple. In trial,
I was arguing with the judge, man. The dude pointed at me and said I was dangerous. I started laughing at him. I had my hands in. I'd stand up on the bench.
You don't argue with the judge. That's not what you don't argue with that.
I do some crazy things when I'm in there, but I get away with it because the prosecutor, he said I would have locked you up if I was him. I says, yeah, well, you're not. I says I was respectful to the guy. I told him right up front, but he knew that I knew that he was full of shit. Just basically pissed me off. I'm just sick and tired of people dying on fucking street corners, right, selling cigarettes. And then you got guys like Epstein that may be alive somewhere because of a trust. That kind of shit pisses me off.
Yeah, it does. But here's the thing, though. I mean, we all have, so these elite are no different than you. They're just using information that you aren't privy to. And once you now understand what the information is, no matter what, they can't use it against you anymore. That's actually the whole point of the Bible. So yeah, do something about it, right? So not you, just anybody who's listening. That's problematic. But yeah, I digress. I agree with you in that point. So for driving, because I also for my individual have charges against driving right now that are being disputed. A big element to it is the definition of driving. Driving is for employment, and unless you were employed on the road, you weren't driving, and they have to prove that you were employed. And having insurance is not evidence as employment. They have to have some sort of contract or some sort of receipt that entitles you as employment. Otherwise, they don't have a case. And all you have to do is just submit a oral application. Just say, hey judge, I want to submit an application to you saying the following that I just said. Driving is a Black's Law term for employment, and the prosecution has to prove that I was employed.
I did that, and they shut me right. I mean, he protected the cop was on the stand. I asked him a couple of questions. It should have been over. I killed him. The guy called me a domestic terrorist. I almost I got up for a minute. I said, "Who the hell are you calling a domestic terrorist?" And he said, "Man, told me to calm down."
Okay, so with that in mind, here's another thing too. There's a big thing, the difference between de jure and de facto. A lot of what people are dealing with are commercial de facto crimes.
I know.
Well, I know you know, but I'm just telling everybody. And the thing is that a lot of really where you're going to get your remedy is not going to be there. It's going to be in appeal and Supreme. Supreme is really where you're going to get your de jure. But in order to get to Supreme, you actually have to get it through probate. And that's the whole death and reborn thing that I got you from. So ultimately, that's really your only answer, because as debtors, you don't really have rights. You don't. So that's where you're at. It's if you do stupid shit and it's not stupid shit on a level where morally you are right, but there are also sheep out there that will toe the line tooth and nail, right? So if you're not part of the sheep, then this is kind of becoming the one and only option, since systems are now being so dependent on digitalization, and it's coming down to the point where it's hard to get away with those type of circumstances. So liability, they're going after the individual. Once you end your liability with the individual, there isn't anything tying you there except for actual de jure criminal activity. So if you killed someone, you still can go to jail. even with this entire process, because
File a
that,
bid bond.
by God, what?
You file a bid bond.
I don't think you can bond out of that one.
Listen, I read some
Yeah,
stuff.
you can.
You file a
You
bid
can bond out of killing people? Hey, that's an interesting one. Okay.
Yeah, because there's not a man standing before you to make a claim that you did him harm.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Now it's getting deep.
Okay. I'm just telling you, I read a lot of stuff. I just can't study it. It's too much. I collect more than I can actually read. But I come around to it eventually when people ask me questions. So anyway, I don't want to make this too much longer, man. It's 10:30. But I was gonna say, if you could if there was a way that you can I get some questions from some people, and I just don't have the time right now in the situation I'm in, but a quick way to summarize this in a little half an hour video or something, or maybe just an audio that you can put together, so that way someone could just listen to it. Because if they go back on these 2 and 3 and 4 hour, several audios and videos, I'm telling people to go back to AJ Canada, AJ 7 audios you had way back when I started. I mean, I didn't ask you any questions and I figured it out. So I don't know if you can just make it a little bit simpler for some people and maybe make a quick little audio for them that they can actually go through. And if they have any questions, then they can just quickly ask a question. You can answer them and they can move forward. It would help out greatly. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, no, I actually completely agree. Desbart Media, I have a company called Desbart Media that started a long time ago. It was designed for clients, so it never really did any self-promotion. It did things for other clients and other brands. So I can definitely take those skills and put it into small context clips like that's actually specifically why I'm doing long 3-4 hour videos. So then I can put them into context clips. So I completely agree. That's what I'm doing.
No problem. I mean, I didn't want to put any more work on you, but it would help because I know I know what desperation is.
Cool.
And there's a lot of people that are desperate that really need a remedy, man. And I get it. But I'm in a predicament.
We're on the same page.
I've had to answer back some people, and they probably took me the wrong way. But I felt bad, But I just, it is what it is.
No,
It's
people
simple.
learn in completely different ways. So like some learn visually, some learn like textually, some like there's so many different ways to distribute the information, but more importantly also like correctly distributing. So yeah, it's not more work on me. I love your feedback, guys. And thank you for that. I just want to know I'm on the same page with you. That's why I'm responding the way I am. But yeah,
do you have any idea why the IRS is taking so long for some people? Because I mean, we're talking about 3-4 months.
It's the 1042 series. That's probably why. That's the origin income, and they have responded to a couple people about it.
Yeah, I hope it works because I mean, it's
it definitely works because I know on my end when it comes to the NR forms, they definitely work. I guarantee it because yeah. So
there's like 500 freaking messages on my thing, and it's like. It's crazy. All the combination of groups and stuff that I got in there, but every now and then there's questions in there, and it's like you got to scroll all the way down, and it takes about 2-3 minutes to get through some of that, maybe even longer. I don't know, but it's just crazy. I don't see a freaking message until about 3 weeks later, so it's kind of tough to answer people back. I got to eliminate some of these groups.
Okay.
But anyway, all right. You have a good night, man.
Love you, bro. Have a good rest of your night. And honestly, with that in regard, guys, I'm basically at that point. It's been 3 hours in, and
yeah, thank you so much for this call. Appreciate you.
Very enjoyable.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Thank you, AJ. Bye now.
For sure, I will post more of like announcement of what I'm doing here this next week. So just wait on that. We'll pin it, and I'm taking all your feedback back also tonight. I've been writing down a whole bunch of notes to relay back to my peoples. So thank you everybody for your time. And I look forward to the next calls. See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you, buddy.